what's up, fellow foodies? Chef Hesh here. Tonight I've got something really, really fast, really simple. Once again, I just really had a long day, and so we want something fast, simple. It's really cold. We've been having some crazy storms out here. So I'm going to make a soup. It's a vegetable soup with meatballs and macaroni in it. I know, weird, right? Green beans, carrots, peas, corn. I'm going to finish it off with some meatballs. I'm just using canned because I can make this really, really, really fast. And it tastes great. I'm going to add a little bit of minced garlic to some sweet jalapenos and a sweet onion that I'm going to be adding to this. I'm going to saute them up a little bit first. I'm using Old El Paso. I have a few jars of jalapenos. I find that these are very sweet, very, very tasty. I want the taste of the pepper more than I want the heat, but they do have some heat on the back end, and it's great. So I'm just going to take these onions and these diced up jalapenos, throw them in with some butter, saute them off. Check it out. See how easy that was? Boom. Stir it around a little bit. Wait till the onions kind of sweat out and get a little bit translucent. We're done. The only thing I'm going to do before I remove these and stick them in my little bowl is just add a spoonful of garlic. Right here in my stock pot, I've got 6 quarts of water that's already heated. That's why I've got my little pad on there, so I don't forget and burn myself like I always do. What I did is I added beef bouillon and chicken bouillon to it, and just get it on the heat. It's not boiling or anything like that. It's just simmering, just to make sure that those cubes dissolve down. I'm going to stir this up. And once this is done, add my garlic. And after that, it's essentially just dump everything into the pot, let it go. While that's going, I'm going to take my meatballs, which I bought the pre-cooked, bagged, frozen meatballs. Why not? They're tasty. I'm just going to give them a little sear in this same skillet. Once they're done, when I go ahead and ladle in some of my soups in my bowl, I'm just going to plop a couple of those dudes on top. That'll be great. You know, while those are searing, I'm going to add my macaroni. Just dump it right in there. It'll cook. No straining, no this, no that, no pre-cooking. It's just all, boom. You got a stock pot and a skillet, and you got some good soup. See you in a minute. Okay, so that just took a couple minutes. And I've got jalapenos and onions sweated down, kind of, oh, it actually almost smells like fajitas. Really nice, and we've decided that we're going to show you how we do our fajitas sometime soon. Not exactly sure when. We've got a couple other things in the works. But now it's time to pretty much just put this all together, and it's really easy. You just dump it in. Our broth is ready to go, so we're just going to stick those in there. Give them a quick stir. Green beans. Boop. In they go. Carrots. Boop. In they go. I got a straggler. Not today, carrot. Peas. In they go. Corn. You guessed it. In it goes. Yep. See how easy that was? And fast. Give it a little stir. Yep, there we go. There's a lot in here. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Now see, I messed up here. I used 6 quarts of broth. I probably could have gotten away with 4. My 4-quart pot wouldn't be able to hold all of the veg and the 4 quarts of water because of displacement, so I used this, but because it's so big, for some weird reason, I thought, oh, I'll do 6 quarts. That's not a problem. This is actually going to reduce as I cook it. And, yeah, it'll be just fine. We got a good looking soup. I'm going to add some meatballs, but I'm going to saute them first, you know, give them a little browned up. You don't want gray, funky, gross meatballs. And I'm going to use the same unclean pan. It's got the butter, and it's got the jalapeno, it's got the onion flavor already in it. It'll kind of give a little bit of that to the meatballs too. And if this is not to my liking as far as consistency is concerned, I'm not sure if you saw the last one where we did the cornstarch little slurry. I can add a little bit of that, thicken it right up. Another good thing is a lot of people with chicken broth, beef broth, whatever, they're feeling under the weather, they want some kind of broth. Well, you can do it with vegetable broth too. Even though I'm using chicken and beef bouillons in this, it is going to taste like a lot of veg. And it's going to be good. Essentially, if you didn't make the same mistake I did where I added 2 extra quarts of water that I didn't need, it's heat and eat. Everything's already cooked. You just heat it up, throw it together, make sure it's all warmed through. You got soup, dude. So I'm going to let this cook, and once again, I'll see you in a minute. Hey everybody, my soup's been going for, I don't know, around an hour or so. I've got my meatballs here. I just kind of toasted them up, not sure how well you can see that. Same pan, so I get some of that jalapeno, the butter, the onion flavor in them. And, well, next step, just dump them in. That's it. I've got 12 in there. They're 12 1-ounce meatballs. I might decide to add some more, but I'm not quite sure. We'll see what happens with this macaroni, and I've got a box of macaroni. How much macaroni did you put in? Couldn't tell you. It's really up to you how much or little, or if any, you want. You could put potato in instead of macaroni and still get some starch out of it. Unless it's a potato soup, I'm really not a fan of potatoes in soups for whatever weird reason. I don't know why, because potato is one of my favorite things to eat. So I'm going to go with macaroni, and I'm just going to dump some in. I've got about a third of a box. This is a standard 16-ounce, 1-pound box. Put about a third of it in there, and now we just kind of stir it up a little bit. And wait. That's it. Taste for seasoning once the pasta comes to temp. Should only take a few minutes. Yeah, we're ready to eat. It'll be nice. Absolutely. I was originally going to take a little steak and I'd cut it out to make more of like a vegetable beef, or maybe add some barley, like a vegetable beef barley. But I thought, you know what, meatballs. I love meatballs. I haven't had meatballs in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And see what we get. This is my first time attempting a soup of this style, where it's kind of a blend of a couple different types of cuisine. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Stay tuned. I'll be back in a few. Since we've added the meatballs, I tasted it a little bit, and I decided to add 1 extra ingredient and 1 extra seasoning. The extra ingredient that I added was about half of a can, a little bit less, of red enchilada sauce. What brought me to that conclusion was the fact that my jalapenos and onions and things really smelled like fajitas, and so I was starting to really want some Mexican food. And albondigas, which is like a Mexican meatball soup kind of thing with carrots and stuff in it, one of my favorite soups. And enchilada sauce is one of my favorite sauces. You all know I love my sauces. So I added a little bit of that. Whoa. Tastes great. I encourage you to do that. You do not need to, but you can, and it will be awesome. I also had forgotten earlier that I was going to add some celery salt. I had some celery, but I dropped it on the floor, and, well, my dog got it before I could pick it up. So, no celery. That's why I didn't do a traditional mirepoix and decided to just shift this recipe into a completely different direction. You know, dogs like to do that. At this point, I, got my macaroni in there, got my meatballs in there. I am going to thicken it up a little bit with just some cornstarch slurry. It's, like I said earlier, it's in the other video. It's cornstarch and water, you just kind of mix it around, and once you're done with that, you just kind of dump it in there. What that's going to do, it's going to thicken up a bit. I don't want this, thick and gravy-like. Nah, I just want it to thicken up a tiny bit, One thing that you will notice when you add cornstarch slurries to things, it's just like if you're making a flour roux, you might need to add a little bit of salt. In my case, I don't think I do. So, I'm going to let this go, probably another 13 to 15 minutes, and we should be done. I'll go ahead and ladle out a little bowl, and you know me and my parsley. I'll throw some parsley on there. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. And so far, I'm loving it. I think you'll love it too. So, yeah. I'll see you in a minute, and we'll have some soup. Happy eating. All right, fellow foodies. We're done. It's cooled down enough to where we can actually eat it, because don't burn your mouth. It's not fun. So, I'm just going to put some in a bowl. I'm going to use a ladle, because I want to get a lot of that noodle and a lot of that veg in there. Don't forget the carrots. Don't forget the carrots. You gotta have carrots. Carrots are just amazing, amazing little things. They're so good. It's one of my favorite things, actually, on the planet, with carrots. I got some noodles, carrots, green beans, I got the onion, I got the garlic, Hoo-wee! I got everything. Little tip. Mandatory. Use some tongs and pull some meatballs out. And just stick them right on top there. There we go. Got 4 meatballs. Got some noodles, some vegetable. We've got that really, it's a complex combination of flavors. You wouldn't think with just all the simple stuff that we added, but it really works. And of course, as always, a little bit of parsley on top. Color, a little bit of flavor. And there we have it. This is a beautiful soup that really does not take long to make. Usually I'll spend like 4 hours on my soups, 5 hours on my soups. I've done 6-7 hours on soups. Not this one, which is good because, well, it's been a long day and I'm ready to have some soup. So, get your spoons ready, dish up, enjoy some soup, and remember, stay foodie. Oh, and don't burn your hand on the bottom of the bowl when you're holding it, trying to point at the camera. That stings a little bit. See you next time.